Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm John Scarborough, filling in for Lewis Lee, who is on assignment. A North Carolina college student who went viral as a 4-year-old girl smirking in front of a burning house sold a non-fungible token to the photo for almost $500,000. Zoe Roth, now 21, is better known as Disaster Girl for the 2005 photo that appears to show her celebrating the destruction of a house in her hometown of Mayburn, North Carolina, about halfway between Greensboro and Raleigh in the northern part of the state. Zoe Roth smiles as the house burns in the background in a 2005 photo taken by her father, Dave Roth. The home was actually being used as training for firefighters, but that didn't stop internet users from putting Roth's smirk in front of massive historical events, such as the sinking of the Titanic or the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Now, Roth is almost $495,000 richer after auctioning off the NFT on the meme. NFTs are a type of digital file with a unique code that cannot be copied. While they are not physical assets and Roth's family maintains the rights to the photo, NFTs have become popular investments. An NFT of a painting sold for $69 million, and an NFT of Twitter founder Dave Dorsey's first post went for $2.9 million. Roth will not use the money to buy a home. Said she plans to pay off her student loan debt at the University of North Carolina and donate the rest to charity. The tech website The Verge reported. That's the news, and here's the show.
Well.
He showed up after all.
There he is.
Now he has to get a hat.
Yeah, really. I'm going to buy that boy a comb.
I got one. I just didn't have time to grab it when I ran in.
That's why I keep a spare one here by the desk.
So
much better this way.
So how's everyone tonight?
Not terrible, actually.
Yeah. I managed to pay off the final 401k loan, and now I don't have that payment going out of my paycheck every week anymore, so I got extra money. So I raised Lindsay's allowance.
Bet she's happy about that.
Well,
let's rephrase that. He's got extra money coming into his account. Lindsay has raised her allowance.
No, I was going to do it. She didn't ask for it. I did it on my own. A woman's got to have some spending money, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like I said, when the big stimulus check started coming in, I wanted a new TV for the living room. She wanted a new sofa, so we watched the old TV from the new sofa.
There you go. And I filed for 2 weeks vacation for next month so I can put the new greenhouse together. Yeah, well, it's only 8 by 8 feet. Don't get too excited, but it is polycarbonate, so it's not kind of flimsy or anything. So.
We've already eliminated that. Dagnabbit.
What?
It was the Captain Dan's stuff, but it's...
Oh. Well, I'm sure that Lewis still has a copy, and I know I do somewhere, so we can send you one. And it's out there floating around on Facebook permanently. So
maybe.
I've posted it 2 or 3 times. I know it's out there.
All right, I just got to get everything.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
That's not. What does your T-shirt say? That's a nice T-shirt.
It says StreamYard.
And it's not reversed.
No, first. Yeah, I noticed my U.S. Army is not reversed either. So that's kind of.
Yeah, but when I try and comb my hair, it's reversed. Do y'all have a trick for not having the camera reversed?
It's not that. It's your hands are reversed. See.
Oh.
Think about it.
To you, Dan, look at the camera and touch your left ear.
Oh, now I've got to remember which one is left.
Very good. Left ear. Now, the funny thing is, if I reach out and point at me on the screen, I'm touching my right ear.
Uh-huh. Well, let's see. If I point at Joe Dog in the center, I'm pointing the wrong direction.
I told you, it's not the screen, it's you. So,
Yeah, you're looking at everything backwards.
well, no, you're just looking at it opposite.
Well, neither one of those propositions are unusual for me.
Well, welcome to our Facebook viewer. Oh,
So I was over on Brian's page earlier. He did an impromptu show from one of the convention things about a lot of comic book stuff. That was pretty cool.
Looked like he was doing it from the bathroom.
He was doing it from the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Let's hope he wasn't seated.
He was seated.
Just
he was
not on that seat.
Oh, not on the throne, huh?
But it was kind of funny. Every time somebody made a bad joke, he'd reach over, flush the toilet.
That does sound like him.
Next week, Joe Dog live from the bathroom.
Please no. Nobody will show up.
Hey, nobody shows up anyway.
Sure they do.
Oh.
They just don't let us know about it.
I'm gonna take my. I gotta behave. Daddy's here.
Oh. I'd pay money to be able to say that.
But I'm gonna do something reckless and dangerous tomorrow.
Colonoscopy?
No.
At home colonoscopy?
No, that's
Trump
even worse.
Chili?
No, that was tonight. Called that Waffle House.
Oh.
Yeah, Carl, we were just talking about that.
Don't worry about it, Carl. Everything is fine.
Yeah. No, I'm going to actually go check out Metrotham Con tomorrow.
Really? Where's that?
Trade Center.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
And there's Carly. Hey, Carly, welcome.
Hey. Ain't Donna.
Oh, I just don't have anything to talk about tonight.
Well, I will talk about one thing kind of ticked me off about the news tonight.
What?
Oh.
The National Park Service has just taken a bunch of land up in Montana, and they're going to start reintroducing bison. Apparently, they passed this bill, and they got funding for it. They're going to start reintroducing huge bison herd back in Montana. Okay. Now, the other headline that I'm looking at, the National Park Service at the Grand Canyon is sponsoring a bison hunt and is looking for volunteers to kill bison because there's too many bison at the Grand Canyon and they're eating up all the resources.
Sounds like there could be a swap going on with Montana.
You know, trains, I know bison don't do well on motor vehicles, trains and trucks. Not as well as cows do.
But they love motorcycles.
Pun intended. Okay. But I'm like, really? Can't you just like tranquilize a few hundred of them and ship them up to Montana?
Oh, tranquilize? Why not have a cattle drive? Think of all the unemployed cowboys.
I don't think you can get across the Colorado. Well, I don't know which side of the Grand Canyon they're on.
Oh,
that's kind of a big. That's kind of a big ditch for buffalo.
And my dad just said, "You better get Donna a birthday present." She's getting a birthday present. I'm taking her to a convention.
You in a heap of trouble, boy.
No, to be fair, she likes conventions as much as Joe does. So that's
I know, but I've had enough wives to where you need a little something, even if it's just a pin or a dozen roses or something.
Hey,
just absolutely special. I know you've been married for a long time, Joe, but
Hey, I went out of my way to get these badges.
Joe, You don't need no stacking
Technically, a badge
watches.
is a pin. So that is it's a big pin, not a little.
Yeah.
One. Now you know why I'm
All
not
Joe
married.
got to do is show up, and they just hand him over something.
Yeah.
And tell him to get to work. What? No, I'm not here to work. No. Go stand on the door and sell stuff.
Yeah. Daddy said he had a bison burger on top of, I guess up Pikes Peak is where he's talking about. Yeah, bison is good.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo jerky.
We've got a local family that raised the crossbreed, the beefalo,
Ah,
and those things are bigger than a van, and thank goodness they have built their fences extra good, so I have never heard of any of them actually getting out in the road next to their field, but if they did, somebody be totaling a smart car on them real quick.
oh yeah.
I mean, a squirrel running across the road would total a smart car, but
Cow tipping as a verb. The cow was tipping. The cow was doing the tipping.
Well, they're what, twice the size of an Angus cow?
No, well, depends. They get pretty big. I don't know if they're bigger than an Angus. An Angus is a pretty big cow.
These look like they're 7 or 8 feet at the shoulder.
Yeah, that's bigger than a cow.
Yeah, I mean they're about twice as tall as a cow. Well, hell, they're twice as tall as me.
Of course, they don't let Angus cows grow that much. So
Yeah, well, that's true.
Of course, Carly wants to know how much do you tip a cow?
at least 15%.
Well, I was going to say 20%, just like I tip anybody else.
And her Angus bull was kind of short, which reminds me of a story of the old farmer who brought in the new Angus bull. He had 3 other bulls showed up, and this big, well, it wasn't an Angus, it was a Brahma bull that the farmer unloaded. And, the three bulls were talking. The old bull goes, well, I think I'm going to just go ahead and give him about 15% of my girls. The other one looked at him and said, 15, I'm giving him 25. The young one goes storming down the hill, snorting, storting, bucking up to him. And the other 2 bulls goes, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? He goes, I'm making sure he knows I'm a bull.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to put on a display. Look at the peacocks.
There was this cattle farm on an island of Sicily. It was right near Mount Etna, where the volcano was going off. Right? Mm-hmm. So they'd be sitting there, and all these bulls were sitting on a hill. Cows were sitting on a hill with them, and they're all kind of sitting there. The volcano would start rumbling, the ground start shaking, big earthquake, and all the cows would fall over and go tumbling down the hill. Bulls would just shake a little bit, and just keep standing there. This happened about 3 or 4 times. Finally, one of the cows goes up there and asks the bull, says, "How come you guys don't fall over and roll down the hill like we do?" And he goes, "Well, we bulls wobble, but we don't fall down."
If I had a bag of peanuts, I'd be throwing some at you right now. That one's excellent. I think I have found the lighting trick. I actually look like I'm real color instead of all washed out. So
yeah, changing your background helps too.
So. Well, yeah, a darker background. The test pattern screen is just for.
I've got another bull joke, but I can't tell it until after hours. So.
Oh well. Well, some of us have lots of jokes that can be classified as bull.
Yeah, you even got a groan from Carl on that one. But
we
but
we
but
we aims to please.
uh, I got something special for Carly Carlene. Uh, how are you doing? How are you feeling tonight?
Let's hope she hasn't hit the moonshine. Otherwise, that's going to look normal. Oh, John, blame it on John. Yeah, Joe did that one.
Oh no, I think she was talking about the joke actually.
Oh,
Oh, of course, I've been listening to an audiobook. Good
okay.
audiobook. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually going to plug it. It's called Abducted, a Tom Darby adventure by Dan L. Hollifield, narrated by Walt Allen. That is a great book. I highly recommend everybody checking that one out.
I think I've heard of that author.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah. I'm
you.
not sure how.
If I wasn't such a tightwad, would have actually bought the print copy instead of getting the free audio book. But it's it's a great thing, so I'm plugging it.
Walt does a great job with the narrator's voice. He nailed it. I did have to provide him with a pronunciation guide for the names of the alien characters, but other than that, he got it. You know, if there's ever another audio Tom Darby book, I have asked that Walt get first consideration. Uh, yeah, Carl, I do. I've got another one in the works. If I could get over being depressed long enough to write to finish the last two stories, we could have another one before Christmas. But
Oh,
eventually. But
I have got a name for my next book that I'm actually going to start working on.
hey, if you ever write the one you were trying to get me to write at the last Anachrocon, that'd be
Oh,
wonderful.
Dan, I've got the perfect name for it. It's going to be called Several Books.
Okay, let's hear the logic behind this.
That way, when people announce me at conventions, this is Joe McKeel, the author of several books.
You should name it numerous books, or name it award-winning books. Hey, the Joe McKeel Award actually sounds like a book award. You could give every book you write, you could give yourself the Joe McKeel Award.
Yep.
I'm not saying a word.
Hey, don't laugh. That's how most authors do it. Like that guy named It's like that guy named Hugo that everyone started tagging his name on their books.
Oh, yeah. Nobody realizes that one's named after a Korean car.
I thought it was a Czechoslovakian car.
Yugoslavia.
You're right.
That's why they call it a Yugo.
Hey, do you know why they've got the heated rear view mirror or the heated rear window?
I know why I have one.
So your hands can stay warm in the wintertime while you're pushing it out of the road.
If you need to push it, it probably ain't eating the rear view.
Are you familiar with the Fiat line of cars? Like back in the
Fiat.
50s, 60s, and 70s.
Fix it again, Tony.
Again, Tony.
Okay. Did you know that Yugo's engine was copied from Fiat? So all the parts in it would basically, if you had like a Fiat X19, all the carburetor parts were exactly identical.
That explains why you can only get about 3 feet per gallon out of a Yugo and about 2 miles an hour. One of my best friends from high school had a Fiat back in the day, and the girls just loved it. And then he had to have the spark plugs changed, which it entailed pulling the engine to get to the spark plugs. It was that small of a car.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was one car that the recommended repair for a lot of the engine repair, or just basic maintenance, was
Another one.
unbolt the subframe and lift the car up. Unplug three. It had three connectors you had to unplug, three bundles you had to unplug. Drop four bolts, lift the car up, work on it, then set it back down, plug everything back up.
Now, that sounds like the three-wheel motorcycle that I had with a fiberglass body. I wish that thing had not been, shall we say, it was not as advertised when I bought it.
They never are.
Well, the guy hauled it down here on a trailer from somewhere in the Midwest to keep me from taking a bus and trying to drive it home. The
Just so
day
y'all were
after,
wondering, when Dan said that you had to literally pull the engine to work on the car, there's the engine on a Fiat X19. That's how you get to the engine.
Yep.
Oh,
the one my friend had in high school was a bit older style than that. It was that was during the 70s. So, and actually, my mom has a larger sewing machine than
No kidding.
than the engine that was in that one. I shall return. I have to go and take a bio break.
all right.
Feel free to talk about me while I'm gone.
Heck, we'll talk about you while you're here. I have no remorse.
Okay, I'm sitting here just going through some stuff. Oh,
Sorry.
oh,
Didn't mean-
this pollen is killing me.
Dang it. God, yes. I took a shower yesterday and had to clean the bottom of the shower out after that.
Oh, it's horrible. I went ahead and disassembled a grill that. I mean, I'm into doing the scrap metal reclamation. Right. I mean, it's got to the point now people just bring me scrap metal and dump it in the backyard.
Nice of them.
Ah.
Hey, don't tell them you like cats.
No. Well, somebody dropped me off this grill that would plug into the propane or to the natural gas to your house.
Yeah.
And I got to, stuck the magnet on it, and the magnet stuck to nothing. It was cast aluminum and stainless steel.
Yeah.
I got that sucker disassembled, and I've got about roughly 25 pounds of stainless steel at 54 cents a pound that will be returned to the scrapyard in the morning. So that's a decent.
One of the problems with scrap metal is you got to get enough of it together so that you're going to actually make enough money to pay for the gasoline it takes to get to the scrapyard. Yeah.
Well, scrapyard's 6 minutes from the house.
So did you see that Red Bank's city manager, I think it was?
Oh,
retired. Yeah. And everybody was talking about how he did a great job and, really service the community and all that sort of stuff like that. And I'm like, and the only thing I could think of, 2 words: traffic cameras.
Oh, they did away with traffic cameras 5-6 years ago.
Yes, but that guy's been there for 30 years. That means they bought the traffic cameras, had them installed, went through all that ruckus with the traffic cameras, totally destroyed Red Bank's economy with the traffic cameras, then had to get rid of the traffic cameras in an attempt to get people to come back to the businesses in Red Bank. Because those traffic cameras were so notorious that people were literally avoiding Red Bank like the plague.
And when they discontinued them, was at midnight on my birthday, however many years ago it was, and I made the point to go down and drive through and run that red light on my birthday.
I'm sure the State Patrol appreciated that gesture.
Well,
Now,
it was
They're
also
probably sitting at Waffle House watching him do it.
I would like to point out the important point in John's statement there. He did say service the community. That pretty much has the same meaning as when a farmer rents a bull to service his cows.
Yep.
Or when a prostitute provides a service.
No, the customer might actually enjoy that. Oh, and I don't
I was reading the news
want to put
article
down
today.
sex workers because,
According to Carl, those are some essential workers.
Yep.
I was reading today also the Mojo Burrito in Red Bank.
Yeah.
They've been trying to move into new digs, which is down the road from that little place over there on the corner.
Yeah.
Apparently, because of the COVID thing, it's taken them 2 years to renovate this building.
Yeah.
Was it a clinic before?
I don't know, but
it was a Shoney's.
Oh, is that where it was?
Well, that explains why it would take 2. No. Shoney's used
what
to be a really high class place for.
Yeah, this was one of those little old people. This was one of those little old school Shoney's with the little single story building with the.
Mm-hmm. I remember them well from my childhood. Yeah,
and it's been darn near everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the Shoney's closed, that building has had darn near every type of eatery you can imagine in it.
And last one was a lawn care service. They stored their mowers inside it.
Oh, that would explain the cleaning up.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, they started on it in December of 2019 or January of 2020 to get started on this thing.
Yeah, and I have no need of explanations as to why it got delayed or slowed down.
Well, it took them almost a year to get Red Bank to approve them moving up there.
I didn't know that it was so difficult to get a permit to relocate.
They are not helpful to business in that community.
No.
Well,
and that's what drove me nuts about everybody saying, "Oh, he was such a good city manager for so long." Well, yeah, he cleared out all those businesses so that you could have empty buildings. He's done a great job at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got something to say about one of the commissioners, but I won't say it on the air.
Why not?
Why not?
They're voted. I mean,
yeah, well, they are voted. Yep. Did you know one of the commissioners for the city of Red Bank is the building inspector for the city of Chattanooga?
Had no idea.
Much of a conflict of interest there, is it?
I wonder how he's still holding the position.
Depends on what type of building inspector is.
Construction.
New
home construction.
Well, I mean, is he contracted or is he actually like in a, paid or city position? I guess
he's in a city position with his name and phone number on the City of Chattanooga website.
Interesting.
Which I wonder, can he take a call? Because those commissioners are supposed to be able to be reached at any time as an elected official. Within reasonable business hours.
Yeah.
Would he be able to do Red Bank business while on the clock for the city of Chattanooga?
Depends on his contract, I suppose.
Yeah. As long as the city of Chattanooga doesn't find out about it, he can do anything he wants.
He's not contract. He's salaried employee.
Oh, if he's management, he can get away with anything. And there's an entirely different set of rules for that level of. What is the word? Oh, never mind. It would probably just get us in trouble. So pretend I said it and you laughed.
All right, let's get off politics. I'm already pissed off. Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Hey, this is my show. You hush.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for being here because I was scrambling last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Carl says he don't want us to stay up too late because he needs us all there for Never Not Mind the Furthermore tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be at work. Sorry. I can't watch any daytime programming. Otherwise, I'll get fired. No. And with only 33 months to go before retirement, I ain't doing nothing to get fired.
Because they'll start. Well, they're not going to start looking for 27 more months.
Doesn't matter. The pension is already invested. They have to give it to me. If I were to go in and set fire to the place tomorrow, I'd still get my pension. It's better than politics. We got a union.
We got a union. That is politics.
No. Well, let's not say. You forgot to wind your grandfather clock. It ain't ticking. He's better as picture pros. Huh. No, it ain't ticking.
No, it's. She's going to have to go to the shop and get some work done.
What's wrong with it?
It's locked up.
Oh.
The clock locked up.
Hey, Joe. That Shoney's, is that the one over in front of Chrisman?
Yeah.
Because it was a Mexican restaurant for a while anyway.
Yeah, Carl says, do what I did. Retire, collect your pension, and laugh when they don't replace you.
Unfortunately, I'm deathly afraid that they won't in order to save money, and they'll just try and get 4 other people in the plant to do what I do. But the joke will be on them because it would take about 12 other people to replace me if they spread it out.
Hey, Dan, how far do you live from the plant?
I have a 15-minute commute.
Oh, so you'll just see the flash and not really hear the boom.
Oh no, I'll see the smoke from here. Believe me. No, I just found out today that I am the only employee in the entire United States doing the tests that I do on the stuff that I'm testing. So the plant in Athens is learning how to do something new that the other 4 plants across, I keep forgetting they closed one down in New Jersey. The other plants are waiting for us to get it right so they can take all the credit for doing it quicker.
And you've been doing it for years.
Yeah. And I have been trying to explain to, my supervisor understands, but his higher ups do not seem to get with the program that the only way we're going to learn how to do this new process is to just
do it,
knuckle down and run it continuously and let the people in charge of this, that, and the other thing tweak everything back and forth and see exactly what works and what doesn't. What they've been doing is they'll run something and change one thing, and then they'll change over to something else and change one thing. And change over to something, they're not giving everybody enough time to figure out, how do we make this stuff good? And we're running up against entropy here. Most of the people that have been there for 40 years or better have already retired. I'm like number 7 in seniority in the entire factory.
Your quality control, and the problem is they're tweaking so fast.
You can't get it.
You can't pull quality. By the time you get quality control on something they've made 3 changes on the product going out the door.
I've got plenty of samples to test, but the people that are actually making the changes don't get any results until it's all over with. So they don't know whatever they changed did any good or made it worse.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, remember that stuff you shipped out a year ago? It causes cancer on anybody that breathes it.
Well,
I mean, that's pretty much the attitude that stuff that's already in the houses would have to be recalled, and oh dear Lord.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing like that. Several years ago, we changed stuff to get rid of formaldehyde because of outgassing that nobody ever knew about until the 80s. Nobody ever cared, and then it turns out it's like countertops and carpet and all kinds of other stuff that was made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. As it ages, it releases all kinds of stuff into the house, and nobody had the slightest idea, because nobody knew to check that this stuff was harmful. Then they find out it is, and so there's a mad scramble to get rid of it. And so we got rid of the formaldehyde, and it took us forever to learn how to make good stuff without the formaldehyde and the phenol resin and other stuff that was in the old harmful stuff.
Well, what was the stuff? It was in the plumbing. The plumbing, they came up with a new type of plumbing pipe, and only thing is, it just pretty much put a minute amount of poison into the water of the households, that they've had to actually go in and replumb houses.
I haven't the faintest idea. I know people's houses got a whole lot healthier when lead pipe was no longer standard for plumbing. And actually, plumbing and lead pipe go together, because plumbing is a derivative of plumbum. It was some Latin for lead. And actually, if you look at periodic chart, PB is a symbol for lead. And that's what not killed off, but stupefied a bunch of Romans, because they had lead plumbing and got poisoned that away. Those are some really good engineers, but they didn't have a lot of modern material. What if the Roman Empire had PVC pipe? They'd still be running today.
Probably. Or copper pipe.
Or paper currency.
Yep, but copper's, well, I won't say it was hard to find back then, but it was more than moderately difficult to refine.
And copper was as valuable as gold.
Yep, and so was zinc, and actually so was lead. When Lindsay and I went to England the second time, we got driven around the area around Bristol, England, and points inland.
Well, no, NASCAR?
Outland, actually. No, NASCAR's U.S.
Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where the name came from, actually, was Bristol, England. But you could, as we were driving by, you could see pits dug in the ground, like somebody had tried to dig a pond about as big around as a Volkswagen van and about half as deep. That turns out to be a lead mine. Basically, you just dug it up. It was right there on the surface of the ground. They were all over. We went to Cheddar Gorge, and you may recognize the name Cheddar because that's where the cheese came from.
I thought cheddar came from Wisconsin.
Well, in the U.S. it does, but before the U.S. it came from Cheddar Gorge or that area. And that was neat. Have you ever been to Tallulah Gorge?
I've heard of it.
It's often called the
Grand Canyon of the South.
the Little Grand Canyon. And I used to go camping there many years ago. Yes, Carl. The Romans did mine tin in Britain. I think that was probably more in Wales than England itself, but I could be wrong because I'm not a historian. Bronze was a real big deal before, before steel came along. Cheddar Gorge. Okay. We're driving along the road in the bottom of this canyon with great big steep walls, and I look up, and halfway up, there's a goat standing on the rock. It's like if your cat climbed your living room curtains and found a shelf that you never knew was there, and just stood there and looked at you. These things, they're amazing. I mean, it's like, imagine the outside of the curtain wall of a hydroelectric dam or something, and here's a goat standing there halfway up the darn thing with no indication of how it got there,
and no indication of how it could get down.
and it's just happy as Larry and munching on a weed. No inclination to even get down. Yeah. Oh, I really would like to go back to England. It's so much fun as a tourist to just go everywhere and see everything. We went to probably the most haunted pub in Great Britain, and we didn't know it at the time. And everybody walked in, and it's like the temperature went down 20 degrees, and we were all freezing. And one lady who was a particularly sensitive type wound up getting a migraine just from sitting in one spot near a fireplace. There was a trap door in the floor in between the bar area and the hotel area, and I kept walking around that thing, and I didn't know why. I mean, you could see it was a trap door, but you would expect 20th century, it's been reinforced, so nobody's going to fall through. Come to find out, when that place was being used as a court for criminal trials, convicted criminals would be tossed down into the coal cellar underneath that trap door to stand there ankle deep in cold water until they could be hauled out for not sentencing, but carrying out their sentences, whatever they happen to be. It might be transportation, might be shipped off to the colonies. I mean, for transportation. What you got? Tallulah Gorge? Yep, it's about 30, 45 minutes drive away from me.
You're down over here somewhere.
Close to Athens.
Yeah, Commerce, right?
No, let's see. Danielsville would be the closest one you could find on that map.
That
There's Athens. Yeah, right there. Okay.
Yeah. Now don't get any closer because we don't want people showing up at Dan's house.
and buying
Oh,
his book.
it doesn't matter. I've got a Google Earth view posted on Facebook. It's oh yeah. If you could go to the actual views down in there, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Now that's new. That didn't exist when I was camping there. You can no longer go camping. That did. That's up very close to the dam. Yes, there's the dam.
And there's the damn bridge.
Bridge. And
Yeah.
there's the damn gorge.
Yeah.
And there's the damn creek.
Okay.
And a damn
yep.
rock.
I've been camping there, believe me.
And some damn stairs.
Those are some steep stairs, but none of that existed back in the day. Oh, that's a beautiful photograph right there. Oh. Go up one. Go up one. Yeah. All right. Okay, that is upstream of where I was camping.
That's filtered.
Yeah, and that's downstream.
And that's Cabela's, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And there's some damn
Sliding Rock. Yes, that was where I went camping. Okay, right in the middle of the screen, up behind the tree that you can see, right dead middle of the screen, there was a nice little place to put up hammocks and tarpaulins and whatnot. But on
there's another damn picture.
On those very rocks, I spent 3 days camping by myself, and I had to play first aid EMT to somebody that went down the sliding rock face first and scraped her chin almost to the bone, and I had to patch her up and apply antiseptic and whatnot to where her friends could get her back up 1,100 feet up out of the canyon and take her off to the emergency room. But thankfully, I've always been a klutz, so when I go primitive camping, I take a lot of medical stuff, bandages and alcohol. Well, not only the drinking kind, but the medicinal kind to clean up where I bark my shins or whatever. But it was wonderful. I had park rangers come by one day and tell me I had to move my campground about 6 feet further up the rock from the stream side where I was because they were fixing to generate some electricity. So the water was going to get a little bit deeper. And it sure did. It got deeper and it got faster, and it was beautiful. Too bad cell phones weren't a thing back then. Otherwise, I'd have a whole lot more pictures of the area that I so enjoyed. But I would.
I think John's mic is hot because he's echoing back through.
Like me?
Yeah.
No, I think Donna has just discovered that John is a very handsome fellow.
Now, I have seen a video. You know, the when Atlanta had their Olympics, they had their whitewater kayaking and all that up on the Ocoee River.
Yeah.
Somebody was up there when they went to turn the water on for the Ocoee River for the whitewater course. It started out as a stream about this wide.
Uh-huh.
And in 3 minutes, it was a raging, roaring, death-defying river. That's how quick the water comes up on that one.
Yep. Once you start opening up those floodgates, you get an enormous volume of water coming through. And for the lake that's backed up on the other side, it doesn't seem to go down much at all.
Nope.
But downstream, it gets a whole lot higher and deeper and faster and more dangerous. Um, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. My friend Tom Dietz used Tallulah Gorge as a location for a couple of scenes from one, more than one of his novels that combined Irish mythology and Cherokee Indian mythology. And this was in Tallulah Gorge. It was the Cherokee Indian mythology. Now, I wish I could remember the words and everything for what from the Cherokee language for everything that was going on through there, but unfortunately, I'm not a linguist either, so I can't even. But go by Tom Dietz's David Sullivan series of novels. Tom's been long gone, rest his soul, but you know, you will. He put a lot of work in on this stuff, and the man did not know how to write a bad book. Not at all. I mean, everything he ever wrote was entertaining as all get out, and it was all.
Oh heck! I could have taught him how to write a bad book.
Well, yeah, but
Actually, Dan, that reminded me of something. Have you figured out anything more about that situation we were going through or checking out?
Yep. That seems to have been a case of
Off the meds?
The way things were worded, it was unclear as to the subject of the intended dynamic.
Yeah.
And after that, it was a case of people made the mistake of thinking this was so when something else was so, and ran with it. And it wasn't just you and me; it was several other people as well.
Okay.
And yeah, apparently, the unfortunate event that we thought had happened has not yet happened.
Sorry, that was me adjusting a microphone.
Yeah, I know. It sounds just like my old guitar buddy trying to get his reverb working on his little practice amp. I love that sound.
But the misconstrued person is doing well.
As well as can be expected after having some medical problems about 2 years ago, but they are in recovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. But yeah, that person.
It threw us both for a loop. I will admit that. It threw us both for a loop. But
so, okay. I mean, that, of course, had me worried for the poster also.
Yes. And what is really weird is my little sister has started echoing the same sort of posts. And for the life of me, and for Lindsay, we can't figure out what the subject of that sort of beware toxic personalities sort of posts would be coming from in my sister's case, because
well, I vague book all the time, but nothing that crazy.
Well, you should try harder.
No, I don't want to do you people that way. Hey, you know the saying that mind is a terrible thing to waste? That's why I vague book so much.
Mm.
Of course, a guilty mind's something fun to play with too.
That is true.
Hey, nothing like vague booking to a guilty mind.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of people coming out of the woodwork going, You talking about me? Who are you?
Are you talking about me? I guess I am now.
I will be in 5 minutes.
What's that old country saying? A hit dog a holler.
Yeah. John, I recognize the background.
You do?
Yes, I do.
That's
Attack
not
of the
Independence Day.
No.
that's Attack of the Flying Saucers. That is a Ray Harryhausen animated movie.
It was Earth versus the Flying Saucer.
Earth versus Flying. Thank you for correcting me.
And yes, it was Ray Harryhausen.
Yep.
And I saw this meme the other day. Ray Harryhausen, CGI before there was CGI.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Because technically, what he did was digital. Because all he did was move it one frame at a time to make it look like motion. Which
move one digit at a time. Yep. The man was a genius and obsessive about getting stuff right. Oh, and it's so hard to duplicate. A friend of mine in college was trying to do stop motion animation, and he made the mistake of putting an actual cactus with a bud about to bloom in his animation. As he went through the animation, the cactus flowered, which he did not intend, but he made full use of. Hey, Skunk.
Speaking of Ray Harryhausen,
he actually went on to work special effects as a what do you call a trainee in movies?
intern.
Intern. There you go. He was working on Swamp Thing, and he actually was on hand. He provided the smoke effects while Adrienne Barbeau got naked.
Damn him. Damn him all to hell.
And the director actually had to call cut on the first take because there's too much smoke. He's sitting there pumping that smoke out and not taking his eyes off of Adrienne Barbeau. And you can't blame the boy because, 20 years old and you see something like that, it's going to be an earth-shattering event. But the second take was more subdued. And it made the movie. It made into the movie. So he's actually got screen credit for his internship on that.
Oh, Dan, are you you got Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save you 2 hours of your life. Stowaway.
Yeah.
Don't.
Not worth it?
It's a great story, but it left me with more whys than a 4-year-old hopped up on pixie sticks.
I did actually look at the preview, and I'm going, that's not going to be done right. There's some possibility there, but the further into the preview it got, the further away the possibilities got shoved.
Well, here's the one that gets me. They do a 560-meter EVA away from the ship with no tethers.
That sounds like suicide to me.
Yeah, like I said, it left me with more whys than a 4-year-old hopped up on pixie sticks.
If you don't have a jetpack, that's a terribly dangerous thing to attempt.
It seems I remember reading something a long time ago about the when the Mercury or Gemini astronauts went up and started doing their little spacewalk outside. And they had this, it was a funky look. It looked like a tire iron, but it was a jet engine for maneuvering. But it was on a cable. So you went out and you used it to move around the ship and everything. They were testing it, and they were worried that somebody would lose their grip and fall away from the ship, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, all the astronauts that did this carried pockets full of pebbles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Reaction mass.
And the idea was, if you got too far away from the spaceship, you'd pull one of these pebbles out and throw it in the opposite direction from the spaceship, and it would throw you back toward the spaceship real slow.
Uh-huh.
And
Exactly.
I wish Stephanie Osborne was here. I'd ask her about that. She might know.
It would be possible, but like you said, it would be very, very slow.
That's what you want.
Yeah, wasn't there one where the guy got out and his suit expanded?
And they had trouble getting him back in.
He couldn't get back in because it expanded too much. They had to release some of the air pressure inside long enough to get him in the capsule, and everything closed up. And then
before he suffocated.
Yeah, that was definitely under a tight schedule there. You've only got so long that you can go with a depressurized suit before you do some biological damage to your body.
Oh, and speaking of the astronauts, we got to take our hat off. We lost Michael Collins, the Apollo 11 command module pilot.
That leaves only Buzz left from the original crew.
Yep.
Didn't he hold for a long time the world's record for the most isolated human being of all time?
Yeah.
Because the other two guys were on the moon. They were an entire moon away from his orbit at one time when he was on the dark side, and then they were the next two closest people to him. Of course, they were together, so they weren't isolated. So.
Yeah,
but they still wore masks,
and he was he. And I think actually that those orbits were actually further out.
Yeah.
On the backside. So.
Yeah. They came close to the point to where they could actually dock with the LEM when it would launch.
I thought it was
they went way further out on the back.
It seems like I can't remember if it was at apogee on the day side where the astronauts were on the surface, or was it apogee on the far side, dark side?
Apogee's high, perigee's low.
Right.
Yep. So perigee would have been on the daylight side.
I think what they wanted him to do slightly is as he was heading toward apogee on the far side, I think it slowed him down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he came back into perigee, he sped up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a normal part of orbiting.
And the reason for that was once the LEM, the ascent module, took off and was supposed to rendezvous with him, they wanted him going as slow as possible when they finally caught up to him, so that it would be easier for him to catch up and dock, basically.
They did have a limited amount of fuel in the ascent module, and once that was done, all you had was the
maneuver thrusters,
hydrazine in the thrusters. Yeah, and thrusters aren't. You can change your attitude, but you can't change your altitude.
Oh yes.
Girl, I'm an astronaut.
Why do I get the feeling we're all waiting on Skunk to say something?
I got nothing.
How's your day, Skunk?
That's all right.
Really?
Yeah, went to work. Had to went to work and did the usual thing. Truck was late this morning, so I had to sit there for 30 minutes and twiddle my thumbs. And then after that, I went to my first stop, and the first stop had a whole bunch of crap, so it took forever. And the second stop was I sat there and waited 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 because I was waiting on one of the other drivers to bring me something I'd left at the warehouse, and she never showed up. And then I reread the text message, and it was, oh, she's going to drop that off with the pharmacy later. You should just go ahead and go. So I didn't realize that. So I was sitting there for nothing. The rest of the day went smooth.
Is that I-75 construction messing with you guys?
No. It might be messing with somebody else, not me.
He goes the other direction.
I go down Brainerd.
Yeah.
But then
you said your truck was late. I figured that might be why, depending on where it comes from.
He might have had to deal with some of it, but I don't know. He's coming from 24. So he's normally not late though. It's just for today. So I have no idea. But at the end of the day, like I had to load the truck, and loading the truck's been a nightmare for the past couple of months because they lost our trailer, and so we've been having to use a different trailer. This trailer's taller, and it's not designed for that for the ramp that it's for the dock that's backing into. It's too tall, so if you try to pull pallets onto it, the pallets fall over. And when I came in, I noticed that all of the none of the pallets, not a single one of the pallets when I got there had been, and I beat everybody back. Not a single one of the pallets had been wrapped. There's all these pallets from the past few days, and none of them have been wrapped. And at first, I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh, these people need to do their job, oh, it's such what." Wait a minute. If I have to wrap all the pallets anyway, what if I just load the pallets? Like take the stuff that's on the pallets, load them onto the truck, then wrap them rather than trying to pull them up already wrapped, because then if they fall over, I don't have to wrap them again because they're not going to fall over. I've already loaded them up onto the truck. And it took a couple hours, but I got it done. And so, I mean, I loaded every single pallet onto the truck. And while I was doing that, people were coming in and dropping stuff off. I was even loading their pallets up. There was like one full pallet left when I got done, and the only reason I couldn't load it on was because I had already loaded on other stuff, and I couldn't load that pallet as well. It's just one pallet. I was like, one pallet, who cares?
Be a shame if something happened to that. Be a shame if something happened to that trailer, like it caught fire or something, and they had to go find you another trailer.
I literally have thought about that. Probably shouldn't admit that at work, or not at work, on a live public stream. But after that, I came home, got me a really good shower, changed. I just came from training. Still got my boots on.
Ew.
Me and Big Joe Blair, Big Joe Shaw. We worked a match tonight. It wasn't the absolute drizzling shits, so that was good. He's getting a lot better. He's getting a lot better. And one of my number one things with him is that I keep telling him, like, I love the boy. Is like, you're not on the same level as me. Like I can work circles around you. I'm nowhere near as good as some of the other guys that we train with. They're far beyond me. But as far as me in this ring, like I'm way beyond you. So let's keep it really super simple. Like, keep it really simple, because he always wants to do something to try to pop the boys. He always wants to do some crazy thing, and I'm like, don't do that, because you're not experienced enough to be able to call stuff like that without it going horribly, horribly wrong. So we got in the ring, we kept it super simple, really simple. There was one moment where he did something that I wasn't expecting. We called a spot where I run around the ring, and he was supposed to run, right? He didn't move. He just sat there. And so I didn't know what to do at that point. I was like, you're supposed to be cutting me off. Get back in the ring, because he's supposed to be crawling into the ring, and as I slide into the ring, he gives me an elbow drop. That's what he was supposed to do. He didn't do that. I don't know what he was doing. He was just standing there staring at me. And I was like, did he just go into like, did his brain just reset? Windows trying to load in the background or something? So I get over there and I just start wailing on him. And he finally starts getting into the ring and I go to crawl in after him. And because of the way we did it, because I had to stop, I can't slide into the ring now. So I just jump up on the apron and started crawling in. And he took his hand, his big, gigantic hand that he's got. He just smacked me in the back of the head, like the world's hardest Gibbs slap. And I just spiked off my own head, flipped over, took a bump, and I'm trying not to laugh. And nobody noticed that I was over there like giggling because it was all I could imagine was him just being like spiking it like it was volleyball, just spiking my head into the mat. And I was, it was funny as hell. I told him, I was like, you need to keep that one. That's just don't hit as hard as you hit me because he nailed me. Like it was a smack. And I was like, work that smack to the back of the head, but do that to people. That shit was funny. And it got a pop. It got a pop. It was pretty good. And then we got some pretty good advice from the other workers who was telling us some stuff. And the biggest compliment that we got was like, the last time that me and Joe had worked a match in front of Cody was one of the guys that was down there tonight. And the last time we worked a match in front of him, I was doing the heel, the bad guy, and Joe was being the baby face or the good guy, right? That's not our usual thing. I don't know why that happened. I think it happened mainly because I said, I have more experience. I need to take point. Therefore, I'll be the heel. That way I can work you through the match. But because I don't really like doing heel and he doesn't really like doing face, it didn't work out all that well. So, okay, this time we're gonna do it right. I'm still gonna be in control of the match because I have more experience. I'll call things to you while we're moving and just go with what I say, and we worked it through. And Cody goes, that was so much better than the last time I saw you guys in the ring. Like that was great. I could tell you stumbled sometimes. That it was very sticky. There were parts where it definitely got jumbled up, but you worked through it. You found ways around it and made it into a good match. He said that the biggest problem was that, and one of the other guys that was there said he does this too. I'm in this match. I'm selling for him like he's destroying me, and I'm not really fighting back. Because I'm doing the whole entire like this big guy just hit me, and he's 3 times my size. I'm not going to just get right back up from that and start hitting him back. It's if a guy that size is like getting hit by Tyson, it's like nope, I'm down, and I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to get some space so that I can get back to my feet before he kills me, sort of thing. And they said not to do that. So I'll have to remember that one in the future. Or try to anyway. It's still a learning process with wrestling, but
yeah.
I'm looking to, if everything goes right, my goal right now, if we can get everything cleaned up, I'm looking at within 4 months, I would like to, there's a specific date in August or September. I think it's going to be August. There's a certain date that I'd like to debut at TWE. Not as the sound guy, but actually in a match. So that's the goal.
Yeah, we got Blake joining us.
Many moons have passed again. Sorry.
Yes.
Well, Blake, I hear there's a good possibility we may actually sit down and break bread together this weekend.
And I wasn't invited.
Not me. I'm here at the house. You'll break bread with Johnny and them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're not going to get to make it down?
Nah, my roommates are up in Michigan, so I'm watching all 6,000 of the dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
All
maybe
right.
next time.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, Skunk. I'm going down to Metrotham Con this weekend just to hang out. Of course, I will be wearing Halicon t-shirts.
Yeah, Joe, it wouldn't be you if you didn't start some stuff.
No, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be, these aren't another group.
Well,
We are not fooled.
Dan. And to that point, Joe, what I'm going to do, what I do best in these situations. I'm going to go back to reading Twitter. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not getting involved.
No, I mean, I don't even have any postcards made up. I'm not going to do. The only guerrilla promoting I'm going to do is wear a Halicon shirt. And if somebody asks me about it, I'll tell them.
You should just handwrite hellocon.com and just hand it to people. Just like notebook paper. I think it'd be amazing.
Just use a Sharpie and put it on your hand anytime somebody's taking a photograph. You just,
Put my arm around somebody.
Yeah.
That could work.
Write it right side up on one side and upside down on the other, so you can actually what is the term? Oh,
Photo
Lord.
bomb.
That's the one, with both hands, as the situation permits.
Oh, now I was the world's worst. Skunk, do you remember when when the remake of Carrie was coming out and they sent the two people to Halicon to sort of promote?
Question: which remake of Carrie? Because there's been like 3.
Yeah, there's the movie, the TV show, then the movie again.
I shall return.
I want to say the movie somewhere in the 20-teens.
What's that?
Yeah, that's the latest one. The latest one.
I want to say it was Chloe Grace, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember who was in it. I just remember literally the only thing I can remember about the Carrie remake is that there's this really hilarious moment in that movie with it's the moment that's in all of them, with the bucket falling down and hitting the guy on the head, right? And in the original 70s one, like it bounces off his head and he's just kind of like, what? And he falls over, right? And it's kind of a funny moment. It's not supposed to be a funny moment, but it is a funny moment. In the TV movie, it bounces off his head and he like grabs his head and falls over and like he does like a full on pratfall with it. But if you watch that remake, the bucket falls down, hits the guy in the head, and he literally does like a Looney Tunes, like stiffens up and spins around to fall, and it is one of the funniest things. And I cannot get that image out of my head of the dude going.
Yeah, well, it was with Sony Pictures had contracted with an actress here locally and a photographer to go to Halicon and get pictures of them at the con to promote. I was told...
Yeah, it's 2013 film.
Yeah. I was told to make sure I was in every picture looking dead at the camera. Spoil the pictures.
Who told you to do that?
Who do you think?
Oh no, wait. So 2013. Okay, I guess. Yeah.
I was told to make sure to help them and make sure none of their pictures could be posted. So there were these, those, butt scratches.
So just another weekend for Joe.
You gotta wait. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is
Strike
you,
stupid clock.
what you gotta do. What you gotta do in situations like that, though, if you really, because I did it once. I did it once as a gag, and it worked out great. Is you
Good
gotta
night,
hit it.
Carl.
You gotta hit him. You gotta hit him with the David Blaine. You gotta hit him with David Blaine. Do you guys know what David Blaine is?
No.
Mm-mm.
Remember when Carpetbagger came down? The first Halicon you ran, Carpetbagger came down and did a video on it and was doing the. He was interviewing dipshit who I don't like anymore. I can't even remember the fucker. Excuse me, my language. I'm sorry. I can't even remember the guy's name. I don't like him. But he was interviewing him about the Rocky Horror thing that we were doing, and I was dressed as Riff Raff. Whenever the camera came over to me, I did the David Blaine. As soon as the camera was on me, I was like.
Trying to remember the comedian that used to do the joke about if you ever get in a fight, give him the Bruce Dern stare, because Bruce Dern used to play the psycho in every movie that was out there, and so it's kind of like.
I'm trying to remember because I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. So now I'm trying to remember what comedian was it that said, like, if you're ever going to get into a fight, just get naked. Nobody's going to fight a naked dude. It's just like, you want to fight, bro? It's like, yeah. And you pull your pants off, and they're just like, whoa. Never mind, crazy dude.
No, I've heard the bit. Ralphie May.
No, the naked person joke is Rodney Carrington.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I think Rodney Carrington was oh god, Joe, am I gonna get in trouble if I do it?
Probably, but
it's a great day to hope somebody. Yeah.
No, the one that I was thinking of was the best song that he ever wrote. The best song he ever wrote. It's all I wrote because it's all I figured I needed.
I'm about to whoop somebody.
No, but Joe, do you know what song I'm talking about?
No.
Do I have to do it? I don't want to get in trouble. Do I have your permission? Do I have your express permission, Joe?
Keep it under 4 bars.
I think it's less than that. That's that one. I got a 12-inch dick and a dozen roses and a pickup truck. Hubba, 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 hey. That's all I wrote. That's all I figured I needed. That bet goes on forever, and it's so good. I was like, when he gets to the very end, he's all like, I did that song in front of my mama. She goes, I could do without the roses in the truck. God, Rodney's funny. I miss Rodney Carrington, man. I hope he's still doing stuff. I hope he's still doing stuff because he's funny as hell.
He is. He's at least shipping stuff at FedEx because he comes in every once in a while.
Well, tell him we were talking about him.
Yeah, really. We've been talking about you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Like he just comes into your FedEx?
Yeah, because he lives like right down the road in Belmead.
Holy shit!
And then he just ships out shit. So yeah.
That's amazing. Well, tell him he's got a bunch of fans in Chattanooga. I'd love to see him.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Did they close the Comedy Catch?
No,
they moved it.
Yeah, they moved.
They moved it down to the station, right?
Yeah.
I heard they were going to either close it or move it because of COVID.
No, they're back open.
We're back open. Yeah. In fact, if you haven't heard, John.
Well, I thought the Comedy Catch was closed, so obviously I haven't.
It will be what is it? Sunday, Joe? Is it Saturday or Sunday? It's Saturday. Because Saturday's the 1st.
Yeah.
Saturday mask restriction ends in Hamilton County.
No, it ended today.
Wait, it was today? I was told today. It was on the 1st.
The 29th.
I was told the 1st, but okay. Well, Joe, apparently I didn't hear either. I heard incorrectly is what I heard. Which The person who told me the first was a security guard at one of my stops, and we were having the conversation. I was being very polite, and then she said something that just made me go, "Wow, this conversation is over." Because no offense to her or anything, she's a very nice lady. But when you say, "Oh, I'll tell you exactly why they're taking away the mask mandate. It's population control. They're trying to kill us." Okay, yeah. And Maryland was the one who contacted.
If they kill us, we can't pay taxes.
And Maryland was the one that had the CIA kill John F. Kennedy because they put fluoride in her drinking water.
Okay, now that one's weird.
I got that from a book. And it was one of the funniest things I read in the book ever. I loved it. It was hilarious. And it's just so sad that no one will ever read that book except me because it's the novelization of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Well, how about this? How about this theory? It was actually the aliens that killed JFK because he was going to invade the moon before the end of his second term.
But I thought Hitler already invaded the moon and then built a robot, like in that one movie I saw.
I saw
guys or what?
They're
on a roll. I mean,
it's
like when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. Let them go.
Dad, I got that reference. I was watching a stupid video today. It was so dumb, and I loved it. It was great. And at one point during the video, they were comparing this so messed up. They were comparing the JFK assassination to the video game series Call of Duty, and they were just all like, "Yeah, what if JFK instead of specking into Martyr, if he specced into Painkiller, the bullet just bounced off his forehead and made that stupid noise, blink." It was the dumbest thing. They kept showing this animation of JFK just like mean mugging Oswald. As Oswald keeps repeatedly shooting him in the head, and he's just staring at him like, "Nope, not happening, brother." As the motorcade pulls through Dallas. Oh, I was cracking up. That video was so stupid. It was just a guy playing video games. It was actually a compilation of stupid stuff he'd said throughout 2020. It was just him playing video games, and he would do these live streams, and then he would go back and he'd take the footage and he would edit over it and add in like animations and stuff. And it was so funny. Oh God, it was so great.
There are so many ways you could twist that and turn it into something so incredibly entertaining while still being untrue to history.
There was a thing. They had a running gag. On the show.
John B. Pica.
Hold on, I have to get something to demonstrate. Hold on. Will this work?
Hey, welcome, John. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so they had a running gag on the show, right? That occasionally on the show, you would just he would be in the middle of a stream, and he'd be playing, and his friends would just be like, "Hey, Badger, guess what, Badger?" And well, that's very light sounding, but it would do the ching, right? Like a full on like bell sounding ching, and he'd be like, "No, we are not making Garant noises," because that's the sound that the M1 Garant makes when you reload it. Ching, because the clip comes flying out, and it was really. Oh God, it kept happening too because he plays so many games, or not the Garant, the Gallant.
You're right.
Was it Garant?
The Garant.
Yeah.
Shot in block clip. Yeah.
He played so many games that had the M1 in it that they would do that to him. He would be playing something that didn't have an M1 in it. He'd be playing like Halo or something like that, and somebody would hey Badger, bing. No, not again, because he played so many. He played like Battlefield 1, which was World War 1. And then there was it was in Payday 2. It was in one of the Call of Duty games.
It was a mod for Battlefield 1942 that you could get. And,
he played a bunch of stuff that had it in there. And then he also he did some other. Oh God, that guy did so many funny things. It was great.
Quick question.
I don't know what that
John,
noise is either.
John B. Pica, do you want to be in the show? Okay. We can send you a link.
Yeah, we still got 30 minutes. Come on in, Pica.
Yeah.
We need
And,
some Big
also-
Daddy Cool in here.
And
I
also,
think I invited him earlier.
yeah. Also, I don't think he goes by Big Daddy Cool anymore.
Oh, such a good title.
But
Well, I mean, to be completely fair, Kevin Nash had it first. Big Daddy Cool
No.
Diesel.
no, but John, look me up this weekend. Holler at me, text me, message me, whatever. We will be in the same building this weekend. So holler at me.
Fair warning.
Oh no, it's not. No, in this particular case, Dan, the warning is not for John. The warning is for everybody else.
Yeah.
If you're watching this and you're going to be at a certain convention, coming up soon.
Skunk, yeah, he did have it first. He was probably rolling it in the early 80s.
Really, John? I didn't know that. Here's the thing. And I don't mean any offense by this, John. I keep forgetting you're not as young as you act. You seem so much younger. You seem closer to my age, boss. It really does. Like
Sorry to hear that.
When I remember when I first met John, he was God, he was a trip. He was a blast, and got on his feet, good with improv. That I loved it. But meeting John was cool. And I can't wait to meet him again. Because John, you are going to be at Halicon, right, boss?
Yes, he is planning on attending.
Awesome. And
just next week, I'm supposed to have some meetings with some people. It could be good news for Halicon or no news for Halicon.
Is no news good news?
Nope.
No news isn't bad news. It's just not good news.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That John, I love you, brother, but I don't know if my retinas can handle it.
Hey, I you know what? I'm down for it. I will not be at Metrotham though, so I will be at Nightmare on Depot Street in some place right outside of Johnson City. I don't remember what the name of it is, but okay. This is all predicated. All of what I'm about to say is all predicated on one simple thing. Me going up to Johnson City is all going to be predicated on Saturday morning. And whether or
What's happening Saturday morning?
Rent.
Bill Sartain's cartoons.
The rent is due.
Rent's due.
And
Baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Shoe money tonight?
To be completely honest, didn't pay enough. Getting aggravated with that. I'm seriously, but this freaking close to. I need to see your pay stubs because I want to know how come he can't pay me.
Yeah, roommates are usually a trial by fire.
Whenever we've stayed at conventions, he's always been good with money. Always had money for the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Always had. He's never stiffed me on a bill before. This is like 3 months in a row now. I'm very aggravated.
I'll keep you cool.
We're not calling him Minnie now, are we?
Yeah.
And John's singing along with us.
The penny finally dropped. Yes. And then
You can't bring
Galloway, I tell you.
Joseph, you cannot bring that song up. You cannot bring that song. I'm a Chicago boy. Okay, Chicago boy right here. If I love one thing, I love Me, the Blues Brothers, and some Cab Calloway, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I have both versions. I have the movie version from the soundtrack, and I have the original Cab Calloway recording. That's how cool I am.
Oh, John, that just reminded me because I thought of another meaning.
Mouse?
And a picture that you posted a few years ago that I stole, that I reposted recently.
You got some heat for that, brother. You got nuclear heat for that.
Hey, I proved that.
And I do want to point out. I do want to point out, by the way, that somebody in professional wrestling recently made a really funny joke that I thought was really appropriate. Was they were talking about whether or not CM Punk would ever come back to the WWE, and it was Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette was like, "Yeah, CM Punk will come back to WWE if they'd ever call him," because he said that on an interview recently that if they would give him a call, but obviously Vince McMahon's not gonna call him, right? It's gonna be one of the lackeys, so it's gonna come down to Triple H. And the other guy on there, which was Brian Last, was the other guy on the podcast. He said, "Well, Triple H is never going to call him because they've got heat with each other. So I guess it'll just have to be whatever executive from Amazon starts running the company after they buy it." Because Amazon's buying everything right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, Amazon's buying everything until Disney makes a bid for Amazon.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, very nice.
One of the first albums I ever owned.
I forgot.
Which one is that again? I didn't get a good pitch.
2001. It's 2001 soundtrack.
Ah.
Now, guys. I don't have a confirmed date yet. I do not have a confirmed date yet. But my dad has promised me, now that he's married to Patty, my stepmom, officially my stepmom. I used to just call her my stepmom. Now she's officially my stepmom. And the wedding was beautiful, by the way. I wish you guys could have been there. It was great. I was hammered. This is the only way I could deal with my family. But now that the wedding is over, and obviously not this weekend because of going out of town, next weekend I should be free. And he should be free and back from his honeymoon. He's already back from his honeymoon, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he comes back like today or tomorrow or something. But we're rescuing the record collection. It's happening.
That is what I hoped you were going to say.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, I've been telling people about the record collection too. I was telling this one dude at work about the record collection. And he was like, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, my mom and my dad, when they were living together, they had a whole bunch of records, and they're all coming to me. Like they gave me the record collection, so I'm getting all of this stuff, and my grandmother's record collection. So I'm gonna have all these records from forever, like throughout the 70s, 80s. Like I got 2 Live Crew on vinyl. Like it's gonna be awesome.
That's amazing.
And the dude brings up, he goes, he goes, man, you got to have some Michael Jackson in there. I was like, brother, let me tell you something. I don't just have Bad. I don't just have Thriller. I have a Michael Jackson's greatest hits album from like off the wall era Michael Jackson, like when he was still black. And the dude looked at me and he's like, that exists? Was it like when he was a kid? And I'm like, it was when he was a teenager. Yes. It's his greatest hits album. He'd already had enough hits to have a greatest hits album before Thriller.
Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
Oh man, I believe Off the Wall is in that collection as well. And
John, you
the
obviously
big
have
one.
never seen the Jackson
Wait.
5 cartoon.
Yeah. I have.
The one
And their variety show they had on. With
I'll tell you-
Uh-huh.
I'll
little
tell you,
Latoya and little Janet
there's-
Jackson.
2 albums in that. There's 2 albums in that collection that that more than anything else, getting that collection, these 2 albums mean more to me than anything else. And I would let the entire collection rot. I would let the entire collection rot just if I could save these 2 albums. All that matters, because these were the 2 albums that I listened to more than any other when I was listening to the vinyl at my dad's house way back in the day when we had we had a Technics 1200, because of course my dad did not skimp when it came to good audio equipment. Technics 1200 hooked up into the Sony 5.1 digital surround sound system, right? I listened to 2 records. Weird Al's in 3D, because Nature Trail to Hell rocks.
I've got that on vinyl.
But the second one, the Christine soundtrack.
Ooh, that was good.
We owned a lot of movie soundtracks.
I used to collect movie soundtracks.
Because I know for a fact in that collection, for sure, Christine, Beetlejuice. I know Christine. I know Beetlejuice. I think Batman. I think
everybody had
Batman.
Batman.
I don't remember.
Oh, Heavenly Day. They were so young.
Weren't they though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Blake.
Gunk?
Yes.
If you ever get a chance, try and get your hold of a copy of King Crimson Red.
I do have this sealed.
And that King Cole, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, this
Cool.
sealed, like sealed, like still plasticky.
Ooh. Well, I mean, it's a difference between being able to listen to something and having a collector's item. Yeah.
What happened to Skunk?
That's what I was wondering. Oh, wait,
What-
put that back up.
Oh,
Never
what
mind.
happened to Joe?
Yeah, really. What did you do to your face? Okay.
Skunk completely disappeared.
He
I
said he was
got
doing something and just
sealed
gone.
Best of Vicky Carr. Good
Ooh,
stuff.
okay.
Yep. A little more disco in this one, but
Yeah.
still good.
Well, it was that era.
Yeah. Well, she has like 1 or 2 ballads in there,
The
but
one,
this is
the
my
one I
Kudabra,
wish I
the
still
re-release.
had. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
That's
re.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a limited re-release.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm opening that one or not. I paid decent money
I
for
wish I
it.
still had Music Machine from K-Tel.
Ooh.
Mm.
I had that on LP, and it was the one with the huge speaker system in the
Mhm.
Daisy Field with Robbie the Robot doing the DJ bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I also got new stuff too. Ooh, don't fly away.
Oop, oop.
Oh, speaking of Robbie the Robot, robot from Lost in Space was loosely based off Robbie the Robot.
Yeah, very loosely. Yeah.
And Lost in Space, the new season of Netflix's Lost in Space, the final season comes out in a couple of months.
Really? I'm
Thank
so
God.
I'm stoked.
I've been waiting for a year for that.
Yeah.
I've been watching it all along, and I'm going, you did actually catch Billy Mooney doing Dr. Smith when the female impersonator of Dr. Smith stole his badge and whatnot, but that was actually Billy. So,
Oh, Angela Cartwright's in there somewhere.
oh really?
Really?
I buy new music too. Like Yeah, this is what they call those types of music that guilty pleasure, like the old Billie Eilish.
Oh,
and
is
phenomenal.
that how you say her name?
Yeah, phenomenal voice.
I never knew how to
like
pronounce
rarely
it.
any auto tune. And then Corey motherfucking Taylor. I gotta crack those open this weekend.
Oh, look up Mother's Finest.
Mother's Finest. All right.
Oh, now there is music. That is
That-
Mother's Finest is the best Southern rock probably ever put out.
I'm not even sure they're Southern, but they're
They're from
really
Atlanta.
good.
They're from
Oh, Atlanta?
They're in
Okay,
Atlanta.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
used to
wait,
come to Athens and play at the nightclubs.
Yeah, didn't they like tour with Frampton or something like that at one point?
Yeah.
I haven't finished.
Yep.
They are
were
well worth checking out, even if you've got to go to YouTube and endure commercials.
They were requested by Skinner to open for them.
Yeah.
Look up Mickey's Monkey.
Oh, there is no other is much better.
Wait a minute, Mickey's Monkey. That was Joe Walsh, wasn't it?
No.
And then Baby Love.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my baby love. There is no other.
Are you sure? Mickey's Monkey. Are you sure that wasn't the James Gang with Joe
No,
Walsh?
that's the Mother's Finest. The big MF in the Superman shield.
Yep. Joe Walsh did a lot of things, but he never covered Mother's Finest.
Alexa, play Mother's Finest, Baby Love.
Here's Baby Love live by Mother's Finest on
All
Amazon Music.
It's time to get kicked off the show, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all, folks.
That's okay. We've only got 11 minutes anyway.
Alexa, stop.
Oh,
I
I could make the entire county hear that.
Baby Love, Fire.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely need to take a peek and check them
Yep.
out some.
Here's another one for you. They play mostly instrumentals,
Apocalyptic.
but Dixie Dregs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Steve Morris is a guitar
Ooh.
god.
Yep.
That
What-
one
what-
G or two.
what-
What?
Dregs.
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 Mickey's Monkey was by the Miracles.
Yeah, that was that a 50s or 60s?
63.
63. So they did do it. The Mother's Finest did do a cover of that, but they did
Mother's
it
Finest
really well.
Martha and the Vandellas, the Hollies, Lou Christie, Cannibal and the Headhunters, the Young Rascals, John Cougar and the Mellencamp's, and the Supremes.
Well, that's a very good pedigree right there.
I want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
This could self-destruct at any second again.
What'd you do?
It was boiling hot in this room.
Right.
And I usually don't have the air conditioning on because why spend the money? So it was getting really hot in this room, and my computer overheated.
Ooh, that's yeah. That's
Paper
the
bridge,
only
Jill.
reason to spend the money for air conditioning.
So I got the AC on and I got the fan on. I got the fan pointed towards the computer to try to get some of this heat out of here.
Yeah, gotta do
But
it.
if it dies again, that's it.
Yep.
Going to bed after that.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't.
And Dan, beep, 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 yeah.
I'm gonna leave it to you to explain that one.
People having a
I don't
stroke.
think I have the arts.
It is from Mother's Finest, Another Mother Further,
Oh, yes.
Piece of the Rock. I got a feeling I ain't going to bed tonight.
I'll tell
Not
you.
without playing an album or two.
I'll tell you what. The one record, one of the records that I know is in that collection, and I'm not a fan of the guy. I'm not a fan of the guy in a general sense. In a like I'm not a fan of his how he feels about things. I'm not a fan of the way that he acts. I'm not a fan of his opinions. But I am a fan of his music. And I gotta say that, like, there is so. I'm not gonna separate art from artists to the point of like saying that like I'm going to support this guy because of his music. I'm not gonna support his opinions and his the horrible things that he says and does, but I'll still listen to his music on occasion. So I've got a copy of Ted Nugent's "Scream Dream" on vinyl.
How did I know that who you were going to talk about?
Because
you know what happened
as soon
with
as
Ted
I was
Nugent,
saying
right?
is a yeah, he got COVID.
Yeah, he got COVID. And now he's like, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Well,
No,
we knew that
no,
in the
John.
70s.
John, that is not what he said. That is not what he said at all. Actually, what he said is he was saying there, he's like, yeah, I was wrong. I still got COVID, but you know what? They're still trying to take our freedoms away. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he's a douche. He's a douchebag. But you cannot go wrong with that. All right, it's a Wingo Tango.
Hey, his political views may vary from others, but his rock and roll talent is immortal.
Yeah, that's a lot of really turd people.
It is difficult sometimes to separate art from artist when their art and the artists themselves coincide in certain ways.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give you an example of what I mean. J.K. Rowling, right?
Marilyn Manson.
If you look at her, once you learn her political beliefs, and you go back and look at the Harry Potter series, like it gets tainted a little bit. It's hard to, but Ted Nugent never really. There were a couple of times in his later years that he brought more of his political, especially in the 90s. He brought more of his political, but it was rare. He had like one song I can think of in particular, and I gotta be fair. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or if you're Green Party or Libertarian or whatever. "Kiss My Ass" is a really funny song. I know it's specifically making fun of Bill and Hillary Clinton, but that song is funny as hell.
Hey, you got to hand it to a guy who does the Tarzan swing in a what was it? A cheetah print Speedo while shredding on the guitar.
He one of my favorite things ever though was when one of his music videos was on Beavis and Butthead, right? And but it was for the song "Heads Will Roll," and Butthead is like, this guy he goes out in the woods and he like kills animals, and Beavis is like, really? And he doesn't get in trouble? It's like, no, because he's one of those Republicans. It's like, oh, cool. I can't wait to be a Republican. Well, Beavis, I think if you become a Republican, it's like you can't score anymore. Oh, man. What's the point?
I remember that.
He's trying to be all scary. It was a great episode.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Bring it up. I'll run it.
What?
The thing.
Oh, this? Oh, you forgot to turn the sound on, you goober.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, I can fix that.
Hey, the song says one more time.
All right. You have to get rid of it first. and
Yeah,
then
I'm doing that right now.
re-add
Okay,
it.
there's that one. Then I gotta
Yeah.
go down here.
Well, then
You
you got to
know
play.
why
We got to play the other thing
I believe
too.
that's not
We
automatic.
got 3 minutes before we go to the next show.
Everybody ready?
All right, we're ready. Here we go.
Ping!
It doesn't sound as good.
I can't believe
Actually,
nobody ever tried to change
hold
it.
on, hold on. Oh, I got it. Give me a second.
Wait, I was learning how to order an M1 Grand. Go back.
Hold on.
You go to Cheaper Than Dirt and plunk down $150.
Oh no, you don't. Not anymore. Those
I
things are
got.
running
Hold
at
up.
least
Hold up.
1,000.
I've got the best one. Okay, we'll
But
do this.
You can get them from the Department of Civilian Marksmanship, and now it's called the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Order them from Anniston Army Depot.
Well, we don't even have time to play that.
Funky music,
Thingy.
white boy.
John, send me that link. I would like to have one as a collector.
I think you have to have an NRA membership, but I'm not sure.
Well, I have a lapsed one, but
Yeah, well, I'm just going to play about a quick blip of this, and then we're going to have to say goodnight, everybody. Yeah, we don't even have enough time to do the full thing.
Okay.
So let's say goodnight, everybody, for this segment of the show. We're going to start shutting down some of the Facebook pages. If you're
are we
watching,
going to hang around after High Flight and not go to a different link?
And then it transitions.
Yeah.
Or are we just doing a full transition?
we're going to stay on this link and not really deal with it.
Okay.
So everybody can just keep so people don't have to jump in. Carly saying good night, and all right, let's hit the close, and we'll be right back with our other. Oh, wait a minute, Skunk wants to say something. Say it quick.
Go ahead and go to the other show, and then I'll do it.
We'll be back
Good
in
idea.
2 and 2.
Well, somebody sent me a message.
I have slit the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.